That is not a lion, it's a furry bird.
It looks like a lion.
Yeah, that's not a lion. Let me get a closer look. Excuse me. It's a lion!
How does the experience of making something like this compared to another project you're going to be taking on, The Mandalorian?
Interestingly, even though The Mandalorian is it's science fiction, it's Star Wars, it uses a lot of the same technology. In the case of Lion King, we're using game engine technology to create a virtual reality environment with which to shoot with live action techniques. In the case of Mandalorian, we're using game engine technology to do in-camera visual effects. So everything you learn on one of these, it gives you ideas for how to handle the challenges associated with other projects.
So what was your first memory of seeing the original Lion King?
I saw it in the theater with my parents when I was 14. I kind of weirdly remember that vividly. I loved all those Disney movies at the time, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Lion King, all the ones I grew up with. And I love musicals, and I really think of it as a musical, and that, getting to be in a musical is very cool.
Yeah, I can't remember specifically seeing it. I assume my parents took me, and then my dad at the premiere was like, I've never seen that movie. Yeah, I just saw it at some point when it came out. I was 12, and I loved it. I just remember the music, obviously, and Timon and Pumbaa specifically, as a kid, were characters that I always responded to.
I always think that I was like 5 years old when I saw the original Lion King. I was not. I was 17. But I felt like I was 5. My overwhelming memory of seeing the first one is just being totally transported and being amazed by all of this completely incredible narrative. All of these wonderful characters and this vibrancy and this life and then this music and it being such a kind of magical gift,
Do you remember?
Oh, I took my children. I just remember feeling immediately like it was a movie meant for me. Like I needed to see it and hear it as a young mom.
When the original came out, I was already living in California. I was already in my 20s. I think I was probably writing swingers about that time. So just the fact that it got on my radar, it was before social media, it was before cell phones even. So when we were riding our dinosaurs around, somehow I got word that there was this film, a Disney film, that was great. And I just remember being really impressed with the music and the story.
Whose singing ability impressed you the most in the cast?
Singing, that has to do with expectation,
right,
and exceeding expectation. So
right,
you knew with Beyonce what you were going to get. You kind of knew with Donald Glover what you were going to get. Billy Eichner, I didn't know what I was going to get, but he's a theater geek, and he grew up loving musical theater, and he really prepared quite exhaustively. Seth Rogen held up his end. It's tough being in a song with 3 great singers.
Yeah.
But he held his own. And of course, Chiwetel, when we first hired him, we didn't even talk about the singing of that. And then Be Prepared evolved over the course of making the film. And I love his voice too, how he acts through Be Prepared in this.
I didn't know Billy was as good a singer as he is. It was surprising and a little bit of a bummer for me.
But I actually thought, you've got Beyonce, you've got Donald Glover. I have a singing background. I'm far from Beyonce, but I can carry a tune. And I thought, I love how authentic Seth's voice was. That they could have auto-tuned it, but I love when you watch the movie. It sounds like Pumbaa. That's how Pumbaa would sound, and
exactly,
it's so charming and so organic, and I like that.
So you two recorded together for the film, which is really unusual for voiceover. How did that perfect your performance, and were there any ad-libs or any kind of riffing you did that you wish they'd kept in?
If anything, I'm amazed at how much of our riffing and improvisation they used in the film. It's largely stuff that we just made up, and we had really long sessions together, and we could just try anything, and a lot of the stuff in the movie was stuff we just said once, like some random take,
and they caught it.
And they caught
Put
it
in the movie.
Yeah, it's funny. John was saying in Hakuna Matata when I'd say farted, and he's like, "Are you gonna stop me? No, you disgust me." We did that one time of the 50 times we sang the song, and that's the little part of that they used. And I think because of that, it feels very alive and natural.
Last question. When will you two record an album of musical classics together? We want it.
We want that. We want to do it.
We're ready.
We're ready to do it.
Fielding offers as we speak.
Exactly. Look out, Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, exactly. We're ready for our cabaret.
Exactly.
Then can we keep him?
Yes, of course we can keep him. My God, who is the brains of this operation?
We're gonna name him Fred.